How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up, what up?
Hey, man, we're here for another day of talking fights. Welcome, everybody, to Story of the Fight. My name's Romero. That's my boy, Will. This is where we talk all things combat sports. Today, we're going to be covering UFC Paris. We're also going to be covering One Fight Night 35, UFC, the continued rise of Imavov. You know, the battle of what seemed to be Paris or France, let's say, versus Brazil, right? A lot of intense fights, great card. But then also, we had some phenomenal performances. Hey, an awesome female fight, Muay Thai fight for One Fight Night 35. All of these things we're going to cover. But first, Will, I want to remind everybody, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. We're currently at 16,000, I believe, steadily climbing, right? But if you don't like watching on YouTube for some silly reason and you like just listening, they got other options, right, Will?
Yeah, just follow us on social media, but you can get us at storythefight.com, list all of our socials, and then, if you just want to listen to the podcast, you don't want to watch, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found, we're there. But we recommend watching because we're going to be showing some clips, we're going to be showing some pictures. YouTube's where it's at for that. But then, follow us on social medias. It's at Story the Fight on everything. Go to storythefight.com. It'll list all our socials. Click through, hit follow. If you're joining us live, be active in the chat because we like chatting fights with you guys, not just the two of us. And if you're watching this later, there will be timestamps. So if you're like, I only want to talk about that shadow knockout, I only want to talk about I don't know, some other fight, go to the timestamps. Go to the timestamps. They'll be listed down below. You can jump right to that fight. And then, comment.
Hey,
chat.
First off, I just want to say welcome, Austin, huh? Austin.
Hey, Austin, here early.
And our boy Austin had been so busy throughout the entire summer. He was working hard, but finally that camp is over. He's able to join us for an entire stream. Thank you for joining us, Austin. And then Combat Sports today. That Phil came to check on Cowboys fan Romero. Look, dude, still too soon. I don't want to talk about it. Your boy's still hurt. We should have had that game on Thursday. What a way to kick off the season. I will say this, though, Phil. We looked pretty damn good. This our year, baby. Let's go. How about them Cowboys? All right. We can get started with UFC Paris. We got a lot of fights to cover. And just so everybody knows, we're going to be skipping through some fights just for the sake of time, okay? So if you're like, man, I really wanted to hear about this fight, just chat about it.
Exactly. And look, the UFC had a phenomenal card. One had a phenomenal card. It was like all 7 of the prelims for the UFC were finishes. One had 7 out of 8 finishes for their card. We can't talk about everything. It's just not going to be possible.
There's just not enough time.
It's not enough time. So we will be skipping stuff. But
maybe Bed Bath & Beyond? I don't know if we'll have enough time. But yes, hey, what movie reference?
Hey, shout out Ghost. What was that? Click?
No, old school, bro. Come on.
Old school.
Old school. Yeah. Hey, shout out Ghost. But let's get going, man. We had Borralho versus Imavov going up. This is, for me, title shot implications in this fight.
Well, yeah. Middleweight's in kind of a weird spot. We keep saying, at least for me, I thought Imavov should be fighting for a title now. He shouldn't have even had to take this fight after knocking out Izzy. But they had to do the Sean Strickland versus Dricus fight for some reason, so that pushed back the Hamzat fight. So Hamzat was next. They do that fight finally, and they're like, we got to keep Imavov active. And so now here we are with this fight. But now we're in this weird spot where we have like too many contenders at middleweight for Hamzat, and then Hamzat's someone who's not very active. So it's like, oh no, what are we going to do here? So they do this fight, and then they book RDR versus Fluffy, when it's like almost all of these guys have arguments for title shots now. And then Borralho's kind of on the up and up, and if he beats Imavov, he should definitely get a title shot. But Imavov's already earned it, in my opinion. So now we do this fight.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's one of those things where I think we'll talk about the fight itself, but I think after this fight, and maybe you disagree with me, Romero, but after this fight, because they already have Fluffy versus RDR booked, I think there's potential for that fight if it's a finish and it's an exciting fight, and there's a big dominant finish in that fight. I think there's a decent chance the winner of that leapfrogs Imavov for a title shot.
Okay. Hold on, time out. So you're saying Okay, go back. RDR,
RDRs versus Fluffy, right?
Fluffy, the
They're
winner of
both
that
like
one.
right there.
Oh, dude.
I think if that fight happens and there's an exciting finish in it and someone makes a statement in that fight, I think I would not be surprised if the UFC just skips Imavov versus Hamza and goes straight to the winner of that fight just because of what this performance looked like. Hey, shout out Genevieve.
Yes, look, Will, I think you might be right. There's a lot of hype behind RDR right now.
And Fluffy after
After
that.
Fluffy's last performance, there's a lot of hype behind Fluffy. You hear the pop when Fluffy came on camera a couple of cards ago, and the crowd goes wild. Like he's starting to grow in popularity, man. And we know the UFC. Sometimes the rankings don't have to make sense, dude. Sometimes it's just, hey, are you popular? Will you get more clicks on social media if we put this fight together? And I could definitely see that happening. By the way, I believe it was Ghost that said the other guys. No, it was Old School, but the other guys is another underrated movie. So shout out to
Classic
Ghost.
movie.
Thank you for calling that one out. Yes, but no,
You come
man,
back here.
I
You have sex with my wife.
One of the best lines ever. But yes, dude. All right, let's talk about the fight. I think you're absolutely right. They could leapfrog Imavov. Imavov can be left in the dark, still wondering what the heck's going on. When am I going to get my title shot?
Mhm.
And look, first round, if you don't mind, Will, I'd like to go round by round, just
Let's
bring
do it.
some things up, and then you kind of just break it down a little bit more by that round, right? So first round, both men a little cautious in the first round, but you
Yes.
start seeing some of the hand speed difference between
Mhm.
Imavov and Borralho.
Yes, you see the hand speed difference, and you see the stonewalling of Imavov off the takedowns. I don't think there was a ton of like big entries or anything like that from Borralho in that first round, but you could see that he's not going to have an easy time taking down Imavov, which arguably is his best weapon is going to be mixing in the grappling. Is Borralho. His grappling's sick. It's very fun to watch. But if you're like, oh, he's throwing one shot while Imavov is popping off two or three, and he's stonewalling that takedown, this might be a long night for old Borralho.
And we see it a little bit, right? Because we go into the second round. Imavov at this point is showing some beautiful counters, man. He knows he's faster. He can wait a little bit for Borralho to throw, and he starts landing some perfect counters. In this round, there was a slip, of a shot, and he lands this beautiful body shot on Borralho, and
Yeah.
Borralho acknowledges.
Yeah, and one of the biggest takeaways from this fight for me is there's a lot of fighters who will let someone get away with like a labored punch and then allow them to reset after. And there's an opportunity there, and they don't want to expose themselves maybe or whatever it might be, and that's valid. But Imavov was quick on the trigger to pull that trigger. Anytime Borralho would throw like a long cross and he'd take a while to bring it back, Imavov was on him. And like you mentioned, not just countering with a big shot, but countering with like three punches. And, he's slipping, he's rolling into shots, and his ability to hit like 2 3 punch combinations as a counter and then exit was fucking nasty work, dude. He's so quick.
Good, man. So good. We go into the third round, and this is where Borralho's corner is like, hey, dude, you got to make this dirty, man. Right?
Yeah.
Like you got to dirty up the fight. You can't just be trying to win on this technical striking bout from the outside.
Mhm.
And you see it. Borralho comes out. He's coming out a little more reckless. Should I say reckless? More willing
Willing to engage.
to risk a shot.
Yeah.
Yes, to getting hit so he can land his own. But I feel like Imavov maybe a little too disciplined, a little too skilled, right, to allow to get as dirty as Borralho wanted. But Borralho finally starts seeing a little success.
Little bit, and I think I don't know if this is when, but Jenny says I can't believe we only got 2 eye pokes this whole fight with all those jabby hands. There was a lot of fouls in general in this
Hey,
fight.
great call out by Evie.
Yeah, and we're not going to talk about the fight, but there was one eye poke that was fucking hilarious in the night. Not even that; it was yeah, crazy. But I don't know if this is when, but right around this time they brought Dean Thomas on the mic, and I actually think Dean Thomas has a very difficult job. I think he has to really put himself out on a limb here with what he does during the events, where they will go in between rounds, or like right when the round starts, they'll pass it over to Dean Thomas for what are you seeing, Dean? And it's like, man, that is there's so much risk in being that guy of being like, this is what I'm seeing, and then just like the immediate like opposite happens. That happens all the time. But Dean is usually pretty good on this. And he mentioned, I don't like. It's not that he doesn't like the corner work of them telling him to, hey, you might need to make this a brawl. He doesn't think that's a good spot for Borralho to be in specifically, because the fighting nerds are very cerebral with their game planning and stuff like that. And Borralho, I would say, is kind of the most cerebral out of those fighting nerds with his approach as far as like fight IQ and game planning and things like that. And Dean mentioned, if that's who you are and you're a guy who likes to make like reads and then game plan against those reads and go in there with a specific plan, and then that's not working, and the backup plan is, hey, you need to make this a brawl. Whew. That's kind of the worst thing to hear if you're that fighter.
Yes.
But to your point, he did at least attempt to commit, which is good. Even if he's a fish out of water in that game, maybe, he still attempts to commit, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Yes.
But not against Imavov.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because we go into the fourth round. A lot of this continues. We see Borralho still rushing in a little bit more to close that distance, right, and try to get some combos off himself. There's one where he just rushes in and he gets met by a hard jab, and you just see his head just like completely whip back. Yeah. And I was like, holy smokes, okay, if this continues. Borralho in the fourth round starts looking a little more discouraged to me. Like, you see it in his face, right? Because it seems like Imavov at this point is really taking over the fight. And this round specifically is where Imavov's footwork really starts showing up for me. Like, he had it going the entire fight, but the way that he was moving laterally really to keep Kai guessing was super impressive.
Yeah, he's a complete fighter, man. And he has so many weapons. Like, he doesn't have like a flashy arsenal. He's not throwing like tornado kicks and fucking rolling thunders or, spinning back kicks and stuff like that. But he has like a really good tool set to use for all these different positions, and he's good at getting himself to the correct position to land these strikes. Like the picture where, and here's a picture of Borralho throwing an elbow, but which I thought was a good adjustment for him. Mm-hmm. But because like we said, Imavov would go to counter and he'd step in and really go like 2-3 punch combinations with his counter, and he's in close now. The elbow is kind of there for Borralho, and he did land it a few times, but Imavov is just so good at his positioning, and then like the weapon he chooses to throw, if he's exiting on an angle or if he's entering on the opposite angle, like if it's a counter, if he's leading, like he's very good at picking the right strike for the position that they're in, and picking the position that they're in to land the correct strike. Like, he's good at both of those things, and that's really, really high level.
It's a dangerous combination, dude. That's a dangerous combination. And by the way, in the fourth round is also when I think Kai got either kicked or kneed in the nuts. I don't remember. But something that I just really liked about Borralho, the first time he got eye poked, right? Like, he just kind of rubbed his eye a couple times, and he could have taken 5 minutes, and he was like, no, let's go, right? This time he gets kicked in the nuts. He adjusts the cup, right? He's like, hey, give me a second. Yeah. Adjust the cup. And Imavov was like, okay, dude. He adjusts his cup, and he's like, all right, let's go. And props to Borralho. He's game, right? Mm-hmm. Then we get into the fifth round. Kai throwing everything into his shots, man. Like, you just see him really cocking back, trying to. He knows I have to inflict damage right now. Like, the only way I can win is through a knockout. And if one of these lands, that's like my chance of winning. But as they're coming out, something that I really liked that Imavov started doing is he started a lot more with the hand fighting, right? Mm-hmm. And then like he grabs Borralho's right hand, throws it down, and comes in with the elbow right after that. And I thought that was a beautiful adjustment in that round, but at this point, Imavov maybe starting to get a little more tired. The footwork not as good as we saw in the third and fourth round, and Borralho starts landing a couple shots.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, when you go for broke, sometimes that's kind of what his corner was calling for, right? Like, hey, turn this into a brawl, and when there's 5 minutes left, what do you have to lose, Especially when you're down so far on the scorecards. Hey, shout out Big Boars, MMA, Francis on top for dude. The French crowd was crazy.
Yeah, and by the way, Evie says the last Paris card was better. And I'm curious, Evie, let us know. Is this like the quality of fights? Are you talking about the crowd? Just wondering what you mean by that. But yes, It was a phenomenal fight, right? All the way to the end.
It was
Borralho
good.
just never gave up. Something that really pissed me off, though, Will, something that really grinded my gears was when you have Goddard come up and say, after that other eye poke in the 5th round, which this one seemed to affect Borralho a little bit more, and he says, "This is a hard warning." So
Yeah.
it gets me thinking. The warning that they get before they walk out, is that a whatever warning? Like, hey, dude, just letting you know. Just
that one
a
doesn't
reminder.
count.
Just a
That's
reminder.
not-
Then the first eye poke is a soft warning then? Because he didn't say this is a soft warning.
Yeah.
And then we go into the hard warning. It's rough.
Imavov do be eye poking every fight. I know.
Do be eye poking.
Well, he does a lot of hand fighting. Like what Evie said, she's like, I'm surprised there wasn't even more. But yeah, I mean, that hand fighting with your pawing and stuff like that leads to eye pokes. Austin says it's funny in a bad way how the fighting nerds get so much hype and publicity lately, and then they immediately start losing. Look, it's tough. That's what happens. Look, if you're a good team, and they are very good, they clearly understand the game. They're all very talented. They're all, no one's lacking anything physically. And they have good styles for their physiques and everything like that. But once you start getting to the top, that's when things start to either fall apart. Not everybody can run through everybody. And I see a lot of people, and I'm not saying you guys are saying this in the chat right now, because I've seen a couple things about the fighting nerds having a rough night, which they did. They definitely had a rough night. But
for sure.
A lot of people, specifically Hoofy, I guess everybody's been calling him Ruffy up until this weekend. Now he's Hoofy.
Yeah, I called him Hoofy last time. Y'all corrected me.
I wasn't here last time.
Whatever, dude.
But
you're a fucking punk, dude.
But
hey, look, shout out Blunderbub. What is up?
Hey, shout out. Hey, and shout out D-Keys as well. What's up, fellas? Good weekend for elbows. Man, it was a great weekend of fights. Just so good. We're spoiled. Yeah, everybody agrees in France. It was the best out of the 4 UFC Paris. It was good. I liked it. It was fun. But fighting nerds, yes, they stumbled this weekend, but that's fine. A lot of people, this is kind of turning into boxing where if you look at the comments and stuff about specifically the Hoofy fight, everyone's just like, what a bum. This was a fraud check. Like, I can't believe we all thought he was something else. Like, we were all clearly wrong about this dude. It's like,
Hey, pump the brakes a little bit. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. But like everybody's saying, fighting nerds have been getting a lot of hype. But part of the reason that they've been getting a lot of hype is because they have been steamrolling everybody up until right now. And like Big Boars MMA says, I think Borralho and Ruffy will bounce back. They just fought the best opponents, and that's it, man.
They fought hostile enemy territory.
Okay. Look, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I don't know if you could see it on camera. Just thinking about the crowd, dude. The chanting all night. It wasn't just for the main event. Like now on my bucket list, I have Lumpini Stadium and I have UFC Paris, bro. Because if I would have been there, I'm telling you right now, your boy would have been so hyped.
Came back with his background would be a French flag right now.
Hey, dude, slow down, man. Okay, right now you can't see, but I do have the American flag right behind me, dude. All right. I would only go over there just for the UFC event. Maybe a soccer match or football, as they call it. I don't know.
You come back with the mustache, smoking, and then with the French flag behind you.
Beignet, dude, and just like French bread, just a big old.
You have a baguette behind you.
Yeah, dude. So all right, we will move on.
But real quick.
Oh, okay.
Do you think we talked a little bit about it at the beginning, but do you think this solidified a title shot for Imavov?
No, we just talked about it earlier, and not because the performance was fantastic again against one of the best up and coming fighters. Borralho's no joke, man. And look, he clearly lost yesterday on his best cards. I believe it was 49-46. There was one 50-45.
Yeah,
I think it could have easily gone 50-45 across, right? But he didn't look bad, if that makes any sense. Like he still looks like an extremely skilled fighter and somebody that belongs. Mm-hmm. So Imavov did a fantastic job making a great fighter look like a good fighter.
Yes.
If that makes any sense. So I think Imavov did enough in his last fight, I think he did enough this fight to earn him a title shot. Now, that being said, he mentioned RDR versus Fluffy. Both of those guys have a ton of hype behind them right now. If RDR submits Fluffy in the first round, looks fantastic. If Fluffy just puts on another masterclass, right, and just puts RDR out, I could very easily see him fighting for the title next.
But okay, yeah, no, definitely. And I want to know what you guys think too, watching. But I think the obvious move would be you do Khamzat versus Imavov, and then you do the Fluffy RDR fight, and that's the next number one contender fight. But because of Khamzat's inactivity, I don't think that's what's going to happen.
I think so.
They'll probably wait.
I agree with you.
You know, worst case scenario?
What?
They make Imavov fight the winner of RDR versus Fluffy to decide who fights Khamzat, and then just kill all the contenders.
Hey, don't put that evil out there. Don't put that evil out there, Ricky Bobby. All right, we will move on. The next fight we're going to cover is Benoit Saint-Denis versus Mauricio Ruffy.
Yes. Look, we've already talked a little bit about it, but you know, going into this fight, all the hype was on Ruffy, and everybody was in the gutter about Benoit. If you look at what people are talking about Benoit Saint-Denis, they're like, this guy's a bum. I can't believe this guy fooled us into thinking he was elite, all this stuff. And it's like, hey, man, like, he's a Terminator. We always knew there was, you know, maybe things lacking as far as head movement, defense, footwork. But he's still a Terminator, and he's still very good. He's just dropped a couple. And if you look at who he's lost to, it's not that big a deal, you know? Like, he got stopped by Dustin. He almost finished Dustin in that fight. Yes, his fight IQ was maybe questionable, so we got a new head coach. And we're like, hey, let's pump the brakes on this guy sucks, and maybe he's just fighting in a very tough division. And then Ruffy, on the flip side, untouchable. Untouchable. So this was like, all the hype scales were like, they were like this, and then now they're like this.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, wow, Benoit Saint-Denis, I underestimated him, and I very much overestimated Ruffy. And you're like, well, there was always questions about Ruffy. We never seen him getting taken down. We never seen him, you know, all these things. And then on top of that, and like Ghost says, there's almost no nuance when talking to the MMA fan base. And look, part of this is everyone's saying, what was Ruffy thinking? He didn't look the same. He didn't have that killer instinct. Why was he moving backwards so much? It's like, what are you talking? He moves backwards so he can line up his long shots. Benoit Saint-Denis is coming forward. He has to step back so that he can land his kicks or his straight punches, things like that. On top of that, at the start of that second round, dude, he caught Benoit Saint-Denis with the first 4 strikes he threw. He was lighting him up. And they were just not even talking about it. No one mentioned anything about it, but he landed some nasty strikes on Benoit. But Benoit just walks right through him because he's a fucking tank. But
he's a savage.
But that doesn't mean that Ruffy looked different. I don't think he really looked different. I think we haven't seen him fight someone who has a top game like Benoit. And we've seen Benoit really go. His takedown offense, his grappling offense is very... he's got a pretty dominant style that we haven't really seen lately, but he still has always had it. His grappling is very cool. I just don't think we should be writing anybody off this fight. I think it was just a sick performance by Benoit.
Look, the first fighting nerd that lost for the males in that group was Carlos Prates, right?
Correct.
And it was the same thing where, you know, he goes through Li Jingliang. He beats Neil Magny, and everybody's like, oh my God, these fighting nerds. He loses to a really good fighter, Ian Machado Gary, and everybody said the same thing. I overestimated Carlos Prates.
Yeah.
We need to slow down. He's not as good as I thought he was. Then he comes back in and knocks Jeff hands of steel Neil out, bro, with that spinning back elbow.
And the hype's through the roof again.
Look, exact same thing's going to happen with Ruffy. Exact same thing's going to happen with Borralho. Everybody, don't worry about the fighting nerds. They are really good. They're very well coached. They have great game plans coming in. Sometimes things just don't work out, right? Yeah. Sometimes 100%. There's still work to do. Not everybody could just blitz through everybody and go undefeated in their career. It's very rare when that happens, especially in MMA.
Yeah, and it's not like he took a ton of damage where he's like, oh, man, he's never going to be the same after this fight. Like, it's fine. He got taken down. That is probably a pretty big eye-opener for him and his team of, let's maybe address this. the commentary was talking about how it was stupid for him to, when he hit the sweep, or he didn't really hit the sweep. This has been happening a lot lately. I don't know if you've noticed, but body triangles, if you can get to all fours, and someone's got a body triangle especially, a lot of times these guys are slipping and ending up on their back. And then you end up in their guard. That's been happening a lot lately. It hasn't been like, for a long time, it was get the lock onto the floor, get the lock side onto the floor, that puts pressure on it, then you can start to separate that and you know, end up on top. It's not really the game anymore. It seems like it's like elevate, and then gravity will do some of the work for you, and then you end up on top.
One of the things I love about MMA is that it
Yeah,
never
just keeps
stops
changing.
evolving, dude. Do you remember just back in the day when we first started watching, Will, you were just a young pup, right? And somebody gets a mount and you're like, oh, it's done.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap, dude. That ground and pound, and you're just done. Now somebody gets in mount. Sometimes fighters will let somebody get in mount so they can buck turn because they'd rather have somebody on their back, right? Because now they can defend off that so well. Like and the evolution continues, and I love seeing it. This is what I love about the sport. Something I want to call out real quick from Benoit Saint-Denis, when he would fake the level change, right? So he'd go down with the right and then come up with that overhand left.
Yeah.
At the exact same time. Boom, boom. And that landed like 2 or 3 times with Ruffy. So where Ruffy had to react a lot more now and think to himself, okay, it's just a fake level change and he's going to be coming up with that right. Because at first he was just moving the left leg back when he'd see that fake level change, but then he'd be getting clocked. Now it forced him to pick one or the other, and he was like, I don't know what to do. But it was really nice from Benoit Saint-Denis.
And if you're, and the other thing was the high kick. The high kick was nice. The open side high kick from him, get the guard up and then shoot immediately off the high kick was sick. And if you're the Fighting Nerds and you're looking at the last few performances from Benoit Saint-Denis, the ones that everybody else wrote him off from, you're thinking this guy's going to come in and probably just try to throw hooks and I'll be able to step back and snipe him. And now he's high kicking you, and as soon as you get your vision back, he's on your legs. And now you're like, oh shit, this is a different game plan. He's got a new camp. You know, like this is, I really don't put too much stock in this loss on Ruffy. I don't. And I'm not even a huge fanboy. It's not like I'm like clouded by like Fighting Nerds hype. I just don't think, I think Benoit was very good.
Next episode, you're going to have tape in the middle of your glasses.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not even that bought into the Fighting Nerds, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're just wearing full violence shirts.
Yeah. All right. Will, I will let you kind of just take the reins on the next few fights as we go, just to save some time.
This shot of Ian Gary reacting to the finish and then Pratas crying into the flag, dude, was fucking classic.
Tough. All right.
Brutal.
Like I said, I'll mention the next couple fights. I'll tee you up, and then you just kind of go through them real quick because we still have to cover one fight night, 35 after these few fights. So we had Modestas Bukauskas versus Paul Craig.
Yes, and man, Paul Craig. What can we say? It's been a long time. He's getting caught on every punch that people throw at him. It's just. I'm glad. So yeah, he retired. Bukauskas pretty much ran through him with like 1 second left on the clock. Paul Craig pulls guard because he's getting lit up on the feet, and you're like, it's not good to do that, but maybe it's Paul Craig, so maybe. And then just immediately gets lit up with ground and pound. And you're like, that's a bad move. And then with 1 second left on the clock, he eats this elbow that we're gonna show right now. Shout out to the UFC for posting this. So here he is in guard, and then just here comes the big elbow, bam, boom. Right there. And then the clock rings. Look, he's done. It was nasty.
Ghost is asking that you do this in the Paul Craig accent.
How dare you, Ghost?
Evie saying the sound of that elbow, yes, because on the replay they're like, hey, listen, let's go back and listen to us. Crack, like straight crack. Big Boar's amazing that he's glad that Paul Craig retired. I agree, and not because I don't like watching Paul Craig, but you can only fight with that style for so long because he would eat so many shots. He eat ground and pound to see if there's any way you can sink in this last minute submission. Dude, not the best way for a long career, right?
No, and he's had a long career. He's had like 20 UFC fights. It's crazy. He beat he's finished Ankalaev, he finished Jamal Hill, he finished 2 future champs.
By the way, one of my favorite post-fight pictures of all time after he breaks Jamal Hill's arm and they're at the club and they're just both like holding drinks and Jamal's like in a sling, dude. It's
classic. I think
you can find that, Rich. That's such a good picture.
But yeah, man, it's just tough. It is. I'm glad to see him retire. Did you see his ear?
No, was it just split open or something?
Yeah, I don't know if it's from the elbow or from what, but graphic content warning, by the way, real quick, before we get there. It should be coming up here.
Oh,
that's bad.
It's
Also, Paul Craig,
the elbow.
lifelong grappler. How did he not have much worse cauliflower ear than this?
He might have more after this.
Yeah.
Like on his very last fight, he's like, oh shit, I finally got cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
All right. We shall move on, sir.
Big Boris, do you think Modestas is hitting his prime? I actually do. I do think so. He's clearly put it together. He looks, I mean, take this with a grain of salt, I think. Stylistically, this went pretty much how I think a lot of fights go for Paul Craig, so it's tough to really put too much stock into this one for me. But he looked good. He looked good doing it.
Awesome. All right, we had Mason Jones versus Bolaji.
Bro, this fight was fucking awesome. Oki comes out. Also, I'm glad Mason Jones is back. They cut him. I didn't think they should have, and then he came back, and he's been good since he's been back. But I really like Mason Jones, and this is going to make a lot more people like him because the fight starts, and the crowd's crazy, obviously. Oki cracks him with, like, I don't even know how many punches, but he hurts him bad, drops him.
Yep.
Is standing over him, raining down shots. But it's like he had magnets in his hands. He's just lighting up Mason Jones. Mason Jones is rocked. He's all over the place. I mean, he's just getting, like, tore up, basically. Just big shots from Oki. And Oki cracks. You can tell he cracks. But then they get up. And then Mason Jones tags Oki. And he kind of has a weird reaction and goes down. And you're like, is he hurt? I think, was it a slip? Or is he, like, rocked? And I don't think it mattered. Because Mason Jones... Look, maybe he was tired. I think it's maybe a combination. He was tired from the onslaught that he just threw, and then also it was a nice shot by Mason Jones. But I think he gave an inch, and Mason Jones took a mile here because he gave him that opportunity to get back into this fight, and Mason Jones took it and ran with it. He ends up on top. He almost Kimuras him. Which he really almost had that Kimura. That would have been so sick if he got that in round 1. That would have been crazy because what a round it would have been. I mean, it already was, but it would have been like a legendary fight. But he doesn't get it. But he almost gets it. And then you're like, what's next in this fight? This is crazy. That was an insane round. And then Oki just doesn't have his feet under him. He's clearly exhausted. He's clearly rocked. And Mason Jones just takes it to him again. Fucking awesome fight, man. This was like a gladiator type fight in that arena.
Everybody loves a good comeback story, even if it's within that fight. It's one of these fights where I went in and I was like, I don't really care who wins. Jones starts getting worked. Cool, he lands a big shot. I was like, I want Jones to win. Just because I just love seeing those back and forth. But it was a very entertaining fight. Anything else on this fight, Will, before we move on?
No, not really. Just if anybody missed that fight, definitely go watch it because it was fucking awesome.
Yes, honorable mention, Delija versus Tye Ruotolo. Delija just came out just full speed, dude. Didn't stop. Poor Tye Ruotolo, dude. Poor Tye Ruotolo. He gets finished. But we had Fernandes versus Hardwick.
Oh, man. My boy Hardwick. He's so sick, man. And he took this on, what, 5 days notice or something like that?
Short notice.
Was it 4 days?
No, short notice, I said. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it was like 5 days notice. It was supposed to be for SCM. But, he takes this on short notice. Cage Warriors champ. He's so cool. If you watch his fights in Cage Warriors, I mean, this guy is a fan favorite. So he gets to UFC and it's like sick. But it's going to be a tough one. And Fernandes just fucking immediately is just on these calf kicks. And Harry's like, hey, man, I didn't even have a fucking camp for this. Can we chill on that? Like, how about we box? And then he's just lighting up the calves. Harry switches stances. He lights up the other calf. Harry's still coming forward, trying to land his shots, but his legs aren't even stable. He can't even step. And I mean, Fernandes is just completely demolished. Within like 2 minutes, his legs were fucking toast, dude. It was brutal.
Yeah, it's one of those where like the next day you're wondering, if it's one leg, you're like, okay, well, he'll be limping for a while. After this one, it's like he's probably in a wheelchair for a few days.
Bro, they took him out of the fight in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
They had to put him in a wheelchair just to get out of the fight. I mean,
Rough.
just nasty work from Fernandes, but very cool.
Beautiful leg kicks.
But hopefully, Harry showed a ton of heart because he kept coming forward even with his legs destroyed. He never was on the back. A lot of times you see guys, if their legs aren't working, back up against the fence trying to like slip and counter some shots. He was still foot on the gas, just very lightly. Still coming forward, still wanted to fight. Even when he went down, this was the finale. Even when he went down and rolled, he was still like crawling towards Fernandes. It's like, damn, dude, fucking savage.
And Ghost calling out, Harry's also 145 pounder, so taking this fight on short notice, taking it at lightweight. Hey, he's in the UFC now, though, huh? I'm sure he's gonna get some more shots.
Now. The right on Anthony Smith was classic, yeah.
Last fight we're gonna cover is Sam Patterson versus Trey Waters.
Yeah, I really like this fight. Sam Patterson, I think a lot of people wrote him off, I think. Yeah, because he wins on the Contender Series, but it's like, okay, what does that even mean, really? And then he gets finished pretty bad in that in his UFC debut. And now we're looking at first round rear naked choke, first round arm triangle, first round knockout against Danny Borralho, which was nasty in a fight that he was a massive underdog in. And now this one, another finish in the first round. 4 first round finishes to start off his career in the UFC after losing his debut, getting finished bad in his UFC debut. And like Big Boar says, ever since the Yanal lost, really has improved. Yeah. And dude, just we talk about loving fighters who actually use their length. This guy right here. Maybe I could use a little bit more head movement, but that kind of is okay when you're just beating the brakes off somebody. I'll allow it, But because man, just magnets in his hands. Once he cracked Trey good, it was just like the same thing. You give an inch, they're gonna take a mile, and that's what he did. Killer finishing instinct. 4 first round finishes, man. Come on.
Yeah, dude, the night overall I thought was very fun. A lot of finishes throughout the entire night. Again, the crowd was electric. But that being said, Will, there was some fights we probably lost. No, do we have a moment of silence?
Yes, we have a moment of silence. Probably the worst one, Dubin versus Freeman. I can't believe we lost that one. Never, just kidding. I've never heard of either of them. No disrespect. Actually, no, I remember Dubin. And then, yeah, obviously, Fares, we lost because I think one of his grandparents passed or something like that. So that sucks. It's horrible. But the big one, Pitbull versus Kaida. Kaida, I don't know. I've actually never watched his fights with commentary on. But man, I was looking forward to this one. That's a big signing for the UFC. And it just would have been so sick to see this fight come through. But he missed weight by like 4 pounds, 5 pounds, or something like that. And they were like, nah, dude. And
yeah,
hopefully
Pitbull was like, hey, I did my job, short notice.
Yeah.
Opponent didn't.
Hopefully they don't cut him because I want to see him in the UFC, but damn, it sucks we lost that one.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Big Boar's MMA also saying, I wish Ziam fought. That'd have been nice, man.
Yeah.
In his home crowd, right?
Would have been sick.
The key saying his grandmother died. That is pretty sad. And typology, very specific. Death in the family, it just says in there. That's rough. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out Typology. Damn.
Monies. Who got extra monies? I hope they handed out bonuses left and right, Will, because there's a lot of fantastic finishes.
Oh, yeah. Of course. We got Benoit Saint-Denis stopping the hype train. We got...
What's the next one?
What do we got? We got Mason Jones for the crazy comeback. And then we got your boy D'Elia for his lightweight hand speed at heavyweight against one of the slowest heavyweights. But respect, because that was a sick little shot he threw. The angle on it was cool to get the finish. And then Fernandes got one for his calf kicks. How did Sam Patterson not get a bonus?
Yeah. They
Crazy.
should have just done, anybody that finished somebody should have just gotten a bonus.
Whoa, dude. They got no money.
Yeah, that's
dude.
true. We got a budget.
They just signed
That's
a
true.
big deal. They got a ton. I mean, there's a ton of money involved, but none of it's for bonuses.
No. All right. Hey, Will, it's time to switch over. We're now going to be covering one fight night, 35. It was a fantastic card. And as we get going into it, just letting everybody know, we're going to be talking some fantastic KOs throughout the entire night. But before we do, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, goes a long way. Highly recommend going through YouTube because one is fantastic, one championship, and they give us the hookup a lot of times and they let us show a lot of fantastic clips. So the best way to watch is through YouTube, right, Will?
Yes, watch us on YouTube so you can see the clips, you can see the pictures. But if you do want to just listen to audio, Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube Podcast, all that shit. If there's a specific fight, if you're not watching this live, if there's a specific fight you want to hear about, we'll have timestamps down below. But if you are watching this live and you watch this event, please stay in the chat. You guys have been great in the chat this whole episode, so keep it going because it makes it a lot more fun for us. But yes, one fight night, 35. Sick card on paper, even was very cool.
Very fun. And a lot of times when you see a good card on paper, you're like, man, I just hope that this pans out. And this is one of those ones where it did pan out.
Dude, so
right?
8 fights, right, on the card, I believe. 7 of them were finishes. 7 finishes in a row up until the main event. Main event was a decision, but still a sick fight. But, I mean, just a great night for one.
Yes.
Great
And
card.
that being said, we're not going to be able to cover every single fight just for the sake of time, but we will cover some of the best moments. We're going to start off with Hemetsberger versus Buntan.
Dude, look, going into this, I picked Jackie. I thought, Hemetsberger's very good, very strong. She clearly has weird, freaky power. If you haven't seen that high kick knockout, they're saying it's because it was a left punch that landed, but then she kicks her in the armpit and then she goes down. And it's like, God damn, dude, what kind of power does this girl have? And I was like, but despite that, I think Jackie just she's so slick. And the way she throws combos, I was like, it might just be a little bit too much for for Stella, sorry. And that's kind of how it started for the first minute or so.
Will, this was a Muay Thai chess match, right?
Yeah.
And I've said it once and I'll say it again. One has the best female fights in the world. I will watch female fights all day, every day. They're always competitive. They're always fun. We see phenomenal striking. In this case, right, with Stella, she was throwing that high kick, and just like you see here, perfect timing, Rich. Pick it. Keep it there. You see Buntan lean back, and at first, she'd lean back and then bounce back forward.
Yeah.
Throw combos, right? Stella with a beautiful adjustment.
Real quick, before you talk about the adjustment, the first couple times she did that, she would slip back like Fazeev, but then unlike Fazeev, like you said, she'd bounce back, she'd whip back and throw like a 3-punch combination. I was like, dude, that is so sick. Keep doing that all night.
And then it was like, yes, keep doing that all night, because then she adjusted. She throws the right kick. She waits for Buntan to lean back, and as she's coming forward, she follows up with that right.
Dude.
Oh my God.
We talk about if you can create a car crash where you can hit somebody as they're walking onto the strike, it's just physics, right? Like if you crash your car into a wall, there's a big impact. But if you crash your car into another car that's moving into your car, it's even bigger impact. Yes. And the first
pitching
time
and batting, hitting off the tee or hitting off live pitching.
Exactly. The faster they throw, the further the ball is going to go.
That's right.
The first time she made that adjustment, like you said, she misses with the kick because she knows Jackie's gonna slip back in Matrix style, slip it right, but she knows she's coming right back up, and if so, she cracks her as she's coming back up, and it's like, dude, the first time I didn't even see what the fuck happened. I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
And then she did it again. I was like, holy shit, dude.
She's like, oh, you missed it, Will? Let me show you.
Yeah, and if anybody missed it who's watching this, let me show you now. Because shout out to one. Look at that short right hand, puts her down.
A little wobbly there. Olivia's like, yo, girl, I see a little wobbly. Come over this side.
Bam, there's the other one. She has freaky power, and that coupled with Jackie bouncing back into the punch, it was fucking nasty work, man. So
Hey,
cool.
Blunderbuff saying Sir Isaac Newton said that's a sick read.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
anybody
fucking
that had
awesome.
Isaac Newton on their bingo card for today's episode, go ahead and mark that sucker off right now. Shout out
Yeah.
Blunderbuff. That might win comment of the day.
Yeah, that's fucking great.
And Austin's saying, I think Jackie wins if they do it again, though. And he says this probably because of the rest of the fight, because Jackie also started making adjustments as the fight went on. So I want to say it was maybe the third round where Stella throws a high kick, tries to come back again with the right, but whoo, Jackie's not there. And then she comes back, throws combos. So what ended up happening? What ended up happening is now Stella is like, well, she made adjustments, so now I can't continue throwing the same thing. So now Stella starts, or Jackie starts going back to the original plan, which is back, combo. Dude, busted up Stella's nose. She's bleeding everywhere.
And look, overall, I mean, the first round, 2 knockdowns, tough to overcome. You basically need to get something going there. I had this fight a draw. I had it 47-47 at the end because I gave a 10-8 round to Stella for the first round. And then Jackie just, like you guys said, she rallied and she was landing so many good shots. But then there was one round. Can you go back a picture, Rich? There was one round, I think it was the fourth, might have been the third, I think it was the fourth, where Stella really kept her away with the kicks, and she was just blasting her with either front kicks to push her back or big body kicks or high kicks, and Jackie had a lot of trouble getting in past the kicking range, and I was like, oh, she stole that round. And because she stole that round, even though Jackie had momentum, and then she got it back after that round, but because she snuck that one round in, I was like, that's a draw. Jackie wins 3 rounds.
Oh, you thought so? Okay.
I thought Jackie wins 3 rounds. Stella takes 2, but with a 10-8 in the first round. But there's no draws in one. So you go to kind of who did the most damage or who was closest to finishing the fight, and that's going to fall to Stella. So I had Stella winning the fight, but the scorecards I thought were going to be 47-47. Shout out to Nick, the boy, the homie Nick Atkin. He got a picture in here. He posted the scorecards.
One of the best.
But Stella gets the win. She gets the belt. New champ. We got the scorecards here. All 3 judges gave Stella a 10-7 first round. 10-7. And then coupled with the 4th round, all of them gave her the 4th round, which, that was the one where she was kicking a lot. I thought 47-47. It ended up 47-46 because of the 10-7 round, which I think is fine. 2 knockdowns, pretty good. But even if they gave her a 10-8 in that round, I think she still would have won because it would have been a draw, and then it would have tipped the scales because of the knockdowns to Stella. But great fight, phenomenal fight, and I actually would like to see them run it back. I thought it was so sick.
The left hook from Jackie. So good the entire fight.
Yeah.
The timing on it was beautiful, right? And like I said, MMA, or not MMA, but Muay Thai chess match the entire time. If you're a fan of Muay Thai with 4-ounce gloves, you got to watch this fight. Fantastic.
Yes.
Anything else on that main event?
No. I just want to see it again.
All right. We shall move on. We also had Shadow versus Kouyate.
Bro.
He said, bro.
Dude.
Let's start off with bro.
Let me just start off some things with... I'm a wordsmith today. Bro. No. Look, it kind of sucks that this fight happened because I thought Kouyate should have got a title shot when he knocked out Smokin' Joe. He finished Luke Lisi, he finished Smokin' Joe. Let's see that Tye Ruotolo fight. No, Tye Ruotolo's kickboxing. He gets finished by Noiti. Damn, okay, now that he is done with kickboxing, let's bring him back to Muay Thai. Let's have him fight Kouyate. No, we're doing Shadow versus Kouyate. And I'm like, shit. That kind of sucks because I want to see both these guys fight Tye Ruotolo for the belt. But now we're only going to get one of them. But which one is it going to be? Going into this, my brain picked Shadow, but my heart kind of wanted Kouyate just because I think he's such a cool... His style is so cool. He fights long really well. But this matchup it's so good. Both these guys are so good, so dangerous. And the fight starts, and Shadow, his right kick, man, his rear kick is fucking nasty. But Kouyate had good eyes. He got caught a couple times, one big kick to the body. But the first round was pretty much, I don't want to say a feeling out process, but both of them showcased really good offense and really good defense. So not a ton landed in that first round, but they both showed how good they are. And it was a cool first round. But if you've ever seen Shadow fight, you know the second round is going to be different.
It's on. It's
Yeah,
on.
dude.
And look, dude, this, a fight was really good when a lot of people talking about the fight, chatting about the fight, start off with, bro.
Dude. Okay, I'm gonna show the knockout. Basically, what happened? Shadow throws a high kick, he misses because the lean back of Kouyate, and then he follows up with the spinning back fist. I'm gonna try to show this with audio because the sound of it landing is fucking insane.
Do it.
I'm not sure if it's gonna have audio. If it doesn't, oh well.
And it will start echoing because of the audio. Our bad.
Yes, yeah. But watch this shit. Oh, what?
I didn't hear any audio.
Bam.
Oh, beautiful. And Will, it's another one of those reads, right? Because Kouyate had been doing that as well, where he gets pinned up against the ropes. He's waiting for Shadow to throw something. He bounces back off the ropes. And again, another adjustment. Shadow's waiting for the exact same thing, waiting for him to do the exact same. Oh, look, is that Sir Isaac Newton saying that's a sick read? And perfect timing once again. Blunderbub, shout out to you with that Sir Isaac Newton reference. But yes, another read, waiting for him to bounce off the ropes, and he times it perfectly as he's coming back off of that bounce from the ropes, spinning back fist. Beautiful. Sir Isaac
Beautiful
Newton,
work.
salute to you.
Shout out Sir Isaac Newton. He said, "Object that stays in motion, or is in motion, stays in motion," some shit like that. But
You know what, Will? Now that I think about it, this is probably the third time that we talk about Sir Isaac Newton.
Yeah.
On the podcast. Little did everybody know we have a bunch of scholars on here.
Yeah.
That we just
learned.
Learning doctors.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of Will Ferrell references after Isaac Newton references. I love it. Great combo.
But dude, yes. And then the best part of this for me was the knockout was fucking awesome. Shadow, I love to see him getting his flowers because he came into one. I think he dropped his debut on Friday Fights, but since then has just been showing how good and why he was so hyped when he signed with one. And to get this knockout over a guy like Kouyate, who is like deserving a title shot, he just finished smoking Joe with that elbow, knocked him out. It's so sick. And then they bring his mom in the ring, and it's just, dude, I'll die for Shadow's mom. I'll fucking die for her, dude. She's just so sweet, dude. And then,
you gotta chill, dude.
Yeah, hey, no, dude, because look at these next couple pictures, dude. When they give him a $50,000 bonus, first off, look at Shadow's reaction to it. I think it's the next picture, maybe one after this.
Frank's so good, dude.
Look at him like, oh shit, I got the bonus. But then, look at the family reaction.
Beautiful. So good.
It's beautiful, dude. And they posted. One has been doing a great job posting these like reaction clips. But damn, I don't see it.
Austin saying the 50K with his mom was peak one. Will, don't chill. We all ride or die for Shadow's mom.
There we go.
Biggest fan club for Shadow's mom. It was adorable. It was a great moment.
Dude, it's a great moment, and to bring her in, and I've seen some people talking shit about the moment, and I'm like,
what?
Have a heart, dude.
Get out of here, those people.
But look at this.
Was it Rich? Was it Rich the Casual that was talking shit about this moment?
Look at this.
Oh.
Come on. Come on, dude. Look at you wipe a tear off your eye right now.
I know, dude. You're gonna get both, dude. Oh my god, it's such a good moment. But yes. Rich loves moms, bro. He said, hey, my bad, Rich. My bad, Rich, the producer in the background, just clearing things up. It was not Rich. I was talking trash. But we got 4 minutes left before we hit the hour. What do you say we move on, my friend?
We will move on. We might go a little bit past the hour. Yeah, yes. We might go a little past the hour.
We're skipping Ruotolo. Tye Ruotolo versus Adrian Lee.
Oh, my heart. Okay, first off, right off the bat, honestly, iconic fight. This fight was so fucking sick. And even the look at this picture. Like going into this fight, you got Adrian Lee, the young prodigy, right, from the Prodigy Training Center, Christian Lee, Angela Lee, the Lee family, right? Adrian Lee, the phenom, friend of the show, has been on the podcast. If you haven't seen the interview with him, he's fucking awesome. Go watch that. But
one of my favorite interviews ever.
Yeah, and so cool when we chatted with him in Denver and had a couple clips with him about pizza and stuff. Just a great guy. But then there's Tye Ruotolo, who's like him and Cade are like legitimate like phenoms in
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, like insanely good. And it's Ty's MMA debut. Adrian's only had a few pro fights. Like this, they're both. It's a great matchup, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're killing a prospect by having them fight each other." No, dude, it's the right time to do this because they both have so much to grow. It's not going to mean too much, but it still means a lot just considering who they are. And god damn, did they deliver, dude? This fight was
Will,
crazy.
we were texting each other, and I know we try to avoid texting each other,
Yeah,
talking about
couldn't
fights as
help
we
it.
go, right? Because we want to. Yeah, we couldn't help it with this card. And as cheesy as it sounds, I think I text you, Will, like Adrian learned a lot about himself after this fight. And you know what?
Yes,
Not just Adrian, but Tye as well, because both of them went into the depths, dude, to
yes,
try to get this one. And before Adrian went out in that last moment, in the last round, before the fight was over, um, his corner said it's going to come down to who wants it more. He's
dude.
tired.
I thought Christian in the corner was so good,
So
man.
good.
So good.
Who knows you better
And
than your brother that you train with 24/7?
dude, yeah, and just to see that brotherly love in there from both of them, it's crazy that this fight is just so. I don't know. There's so much more to this fight than just the fight itself. You know, you got Cade, Ty's twin brother, in his corner. You got Christian Lee in the corner of Adrian. Like it was just these are brother. This is family versus family in this fight, which is so fucking cool. Like,
Ah,
you know what I mean? And
yes.
and there's so many questions. What's Ty's striking going to be like? Is Adrian going to be able to survive on the ground with someone like Ty? And when we got all those answers, and you know, I think Ty impressed me with his striking. There's clearly
Hmm.
some holes. Obviously, it's his first MMA fight. He's a lifelong jiu-jitsu practitioner. Clearly, and in my opinion, he was better. His striking was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
It's not perfect, but it was much better actually than I thought it was going to
Yes.
be. And then the same thing. Adrian's grappling was so fucking good. He almost armbarred him in the first
That
round.
was money.
Dude, he almost armbars him. He lands like four crazy up kicks that Ty just ate somehow. Where he's standing over him. He
A
just
lot of
gets
people
lit
would
up with
have
up kicks.
collapsed on that one, James Vick style, you know?
Yes. And then he ends up mounting him, and Adrian hits a sick ass escape from bottom where he hips up, throws his legs in front of Ty, leg in the face, and then just goes out the back door. And hey, shout out Ganscow says, "Oh no, I'm late."
Hey, Champ
Um,
is here. 2024 predictions, Champ.
yeah, and Anonymous back to the corner says Cade's corner work was 10 out of 10. Twin synergy at work there. Yes, it was very good.
So good.
And
Both of them.
you know, hey, shout out the homie
Arlo's
Arlo's Kings is
King.
better
What
striking
up?
than Brian Ortega forever.
Dang, dude.
And yeah, here's the escape here. And you know, this fight was special, but at the same time, it's fucking brutal.
Is
This
that
was a
high
brutal
gouging
fight,
with the
man.
toe, with the big toe?
No, no, no. Come on.
He said,
But
come on.
you know what else I really liked was Adrian's use of the ropes with his feet to bridge up,
Yes.
and like you see people do with the cage. Now I've never
Yes.
seen anybody do it with the ropes as well as Adrian did. Um, one has posted footage of both corners of this on this fight, and it's tough, man. It's tough because by the end of this fight, they've both been battered. They've both been grappling at an insane pace, and they're both exhausted. And eventually, Ty has Adrian back body lock standing. He drops down, not quite a crab ride or anything like that, but he ends up taking his back by it's like a sit out basically from the back body lock.
Yep.
Takes his back, gets the rear naked choke in. They turn to the ropes. Olivier has to jump in and pull him out of the ropes, and
This was
Ty's
weird.
yelling at him, "Let me finish it," and because he almost has the choke, it's in. Basically, he has the arm under the chin. Olivier has to reset them. He immediately gets back in. They roll over to the ropes again. Adrian's pulling out the locking hand, and he pulls it down. And you're like, oh shit, is he gonna survive a rear naked choke from fucking Tye Ruotolo? No, he's not. But he holds on until the last second, and right as he taps, he goes out. And it's tough to watch, man, because he's so young and he's so nice, and it's tough to see him in that position. But in this picture, you can also see that Christian threw the towel in, and it's in the picture you just had up, Rich. You can see the towel dropping there, and I messaged Nick and I was like, "Hey man, do you have footage of like ringside or something? Because I think Christian might have thrown the towel in." Ah man, that's tough, dude. That gets me choked up, honestly.
Yeah. And again,
tough.
and this is one of the tough parts, right, Will, as we continue doing this more and we start meeting more of these fighters and getting to know them. And look, the thing I continue thinking back to, Will, is when we had an opportunity to talk to Adrian at the event, and off to the side, Christian had a giant smile. This is the part that people didn't see. Christian had a giant smile with his daughter on his shoulders as we interviewed Adrian.
Yes.
Like he was having a good time watching his little bro get interviewed by us, right? It's a family affair. It's a family event. So seeing this, very tough. Very tough.
It's tough. And like I said, and Christian threw the towel in and immediately got in, and then Tye's there making sure Adrian's okay because he did go out, it seemed like. And it's just tough, and there's just so much respect all the way around, it's just tough.
Yeah, and then I think I texted you. I was like, "Hey, it looks like Tye's about to throw up." I said that just messing around when he was leaning over the ropes, but sure enough, as they're interviewing, he's like, "I like throwing up is what's up next." A lot of throwing up. It was an intense battle. Both men's stock goes up in my book, and I know we're a little biased, right? Because we love the Lee family, the Ruotolo family's fantastic as well. But
hey, shout out Ganscow for the super chat. Appreciate that, brother.
Hey,
shout out to the regulars in the chat. Hey,
thanks, Ganscow.
That's a champ right there.
Yep. But yes, it was an emotional moment for sure.
It was emotional, man. I have hopefully this will play. There's a clip that they posted that it's tough, but it is.
An anonymous saying Tye looked horrified at seeing Adrian like that, and that's yes, he did. Like he legitimately looked concerned. But it just goes to show like the character that the Ruotolo family has as well, right?
Yes. Highly regarded people.
What a freaking moment, man.
Yeah, let me show this real quick. Let me know if you got audio. I'm gonna try not to talk because I might echo, and maybe same thing. But let's just let this play out because one post it's a phenomenal clip of the corner of Christian during this fight, and it's only like a minute, but we'll play it. Hopefully there's audio. Right. Let me know in the chat if there's audio, guys. Or Ramiro, give me a thumbs up if you can hear it when I play it.
I got you.
Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Keep trying. Get out of there. Pass. Hands. You see his kicks coming from a mile away. Just step in. Snap it. There we go. High hands. Nice and sharp. Let's see a little more focus. Nice. There you go. Stay calm. Stay patient right here. He's going for the triangle. It's a setup. Turn over. Get up. You got it. Stand up. Hey, there you go. Come on. Keep starting here. Watch your neck in there. Hand fight. Let's go. Back to the mat. Hand fight, Adrian. Stay calm. You're good here. Hand fight. Keep hand fighting. Bring that back to the mat. Hand fight. Don't rush it.
Oh man,
it's I know that's a long maybe dead air type thing where we're not talking, but I just think that's such a crazy video watching the corner because it's a corner, it's a coach and all that stuff, but it's also his brother, and you can see when the towel goes in and he jumps up and goes to the ropes immediately. That's brother right there. That's not coach. I mean, it's just crazy. This sport is crazy, man. It's fucking crazy.
Oh man. All right. Well, hey, that's enough about that fight. We spent quite some time, but it deserved that time. 100%. And the chat just was blowing up as we're talking about this fight. So thank you again, everybody, for making this podcast super fun. Will, again, I'll tee it up for you. You go through it. We had Ghazali versus Jamari.
Yes, Ghazali versus Jamari. Fucking look, I know a lot of people are talking about this one, saying, "Oh, this was kind of like a squash match and kind of a gimme or setup fight for JoJo." But it's like, hey man, he just lost a couple fights, and that's also what happens. You end up fighting down when you lose fights, so it's not really that big of a deal. Like, what do you want him to be fighting for the belt after a couple losses? Come on, like that's what happens. And he did exactly what he's supposed to do in this fight. He goes out there, foot on the gas, starts ripping to the body, and Jamari, yes, he's lost a few times since he knocked out Tong Poon, but still, back up against the ropes, hands up, Ghazali just goes like 6-punch combination ripping to the body. And you're like, oh my God, dude. And then Jamari's like, yeah, we're good. And then he stays on him, and he's like, no, we're good. And then he hits him with one big left to the body that stuns him, and then a right hand that drops him. And the walk-off of this knockdown was so fucking sick. The way the delayed like fall that Jamari had, and then the walk-off from JoJo was fucking sick.
Do you have a clip?
I do have a clip, and it's also his mom and his corner watching it, which is sick.
Oh, hey, shout out to all the moms out there, all the Muay Thai moms.
All the Muay Thai moms, respect the Muay Thai. I mean, look at this picture, dude. That's fucking cold-blooded, bro.
Cold-blooded. I like it.
What are the 5 fingers? Say it. All right, here we go. No audio this time.
Okay. Comes in with that elbow overhand. Sees that might work.
His mom.
Ooh,
and then
shots
the
to the
super
body.
Corner.
And then, yes, just crazy-ass combos. By the way, leading up to this, Jamari also talking some trash as JoJo was landing these long combos. He's like, that ain't even hurting me. That ain't even hurting me. JoJo's like, because I haven't landed this elbow yet. Ah! Dude, I think it landed right behind the ear, right?
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, beautiful. JoJo's mom used to be sporting that Rolex that he bought her with his bonus, dude. I absolutely love it. Look, he looks over and says, "Shh, quiet.
No more shit talk.
No more shit talk. Finish this. Don't worry. No need to talk anymore." You know.
Yes.
Also, JoJo, very nice young man. He said he wanted to hop on the podcast.
We never asked him to. Well, we asked him to, and he said, "Yeah, let's do it."
He's like, "Yeah, let's do it," and then we just never reached back out.
Yeah, we should.
What are we doing?
We have a few of those
God,
right
we
now
suck at this.
that we need to schedule.
Yeah,
we have legit like 4 or 5 interviews. We'll do it. We'll get it done.
We will get it done. Absolutely. Yes. All right. And then the last one we're going to cover is it you versus Estupinan?
Yeah. And look, this is short notice for Jordan. But both the Estupinan brothers have been nothing but excitement. And Hugh is also extremely exciting.
I will never miss an Estupinan fight. I'll tell you that right now.
Doesn't matter which one it is.
Nope.
Banger every time.
Both cut from the same cloth, dude.
Yeah, seriously. They look identical. Fight identical.
They're just as exciting.
And this is a tough one because Jordan really was looking good for the first 2 rounds. He looked so good. He was up. He won the first 2 rounds. He was fighting long. He was fighting aggressive. This is kickboxing, not Muay Thai. So he's dealing with a shorter arsenal than he's used to. But then at the same time, props to Hugh because he lost the first 2 rounds, and man, he stepped in with a massive overhand left in the 3rd round. Was it the 3rd round? Right?
3rd round. It was the 3rd
round. And that overhand left stuns Jordan bad, but he doesn't go all the way down. Foot on the ground or hand on the ground, stumbles back. There's the
Will,
shot.
Can I say something real quick?
Holy shit.
Something about both these Estupinan brothers is that when they get hurt, it's game on, dude.
Yes.
They're like pedal to the metal. And I thought to myself, hey, Jordan, just sit back a little bit, man, recover. And instead I was like, okay, or just pressure. Or just pressure him, dude.
Well, keep in mind the rule set. He won the first 2 rounds, but now that he got dropped, it's a 10-8 round for Hugh.
Yes.
And that'll be a draw, but there are no draws. So he needs a knockdown now. He got dropped. He needs one. So you got it. And the best way that Jordan's going to get a knockdown is like a freight train. He has to come forward. He's not going to step back and snipe somebody. Or maybe, I mean, he has, but the foot on the gas is the surest way to do that. And it's almost like at this point, you kind of have to. It's do or die now. And unfortunately for him, it was not do. It was die. But we can watch these clips. There's some fantastic pictures throughout the whole sequence. One photography team is so good. But
Will, that flying knee that dropped
Let's
him the
watch it.
second time? Oh,
Let's watch it.
We got a clip of it?
we got clips. We got reactions. Shout out One. They fucking killed it on this. But here's the first knockdown with Nabil watching.
Oh, is that Nabil? Okay.
Big left hand coming up. Bam. Cracks him.
Ooh.
Stumbles him back. And you're like, oh, that's not a good look. Not a good look. And there's the corner from Jordan there. And you can see Johan in the back there. And then, bam, there's the flying knee. I don't know how he got back up off of that. That was insane.
Wow.
I'm going to go back to that real quick.
Nabil, props. I like the plain black tee with the silver chain. The contrast on that, very good. And it's simple yet flashy at the same time. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's the knee, and then you're like, oh shit, one more and it's over. And Hugh just goes foot on the gas, doesn't miss a punch, just a barrage of strikes. But then this tells you a lot about Jordan. Look at the moment the fight gets stopped. Watch Jordan the moment this fight gets stopped. Big left hook. That guy's a savage, bro.
And Jordan's like, dude, I had him right where I wanted him.
Yeah. Well, in that moment, look at these shots he's taking that back him up to the corner. Most people take a knee when they go to the corner.
Oh. He ate like 5-6 big shots, dude. And he still lands that big left.
Yeah. But it's over at that point. And you want to talk about the thrill and the agony, bro? Dude, This one's tough because, I mean, it's a big loss for Jordan, and Hugh just, it's a big comeback. He lost the first 2 rounds. He comes back, he gets the bonus, and it's like, oh my God, sky's the limit. And then it cuts to Jordan, who's just fucking struggling with it, man.
Devastated. Wow.
Austin says he felt so bad when he started crying at the end. It's tough, man. This game is fucking brutal, man. It's emotional. I almost fucking cried this episode, bro.
Jeez, dude, we got a little bit of everything. Look, anybody that's not watching us on a regular basis, today we dropped some physics. We dropped some fashion. There's emotion. There's excitement. Everybody, let your friends know. We got Story of the Fight. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, goes a long way, dude. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. And the more that people know that we touch on a little bit of everything, pop culture. We also talked about movies. Will Ferrell? Come on. Come on, dude. We got a little bit of everything. But hey, do we have bonuses for this one?
Yes, we got bonuses. I believe Hugh got a bonus. Well, yeah, Hugh got a bonus. Tye got a bonus for the win over Adrian, which honestly is one of my favorite fights of the year just because there's so much involved. And then Shadow got one for the spinning back fist, which was so sick. And it's cool to see him get a bonus now after everything. But I do also want to give a shout out because the whole card was very good. Natalie Salcedo versus Aragon. Hits her with a dead orchard, like a Americana in the dead orchard. She sets up the triangle with both arms in, grabs one arm, bends it sideways. Fucking nasty work. Rambolek got his nasty knockout with his girl watching, which is hilarious.
Love that nickname, by the way.
Yeah. And then Akbar Abdullayev is insane, bro. That guy, he missed weight again. And it's like, come on, bro. But... I mean, this guy, dude.
He can't win all the battles. That includes the weight loss battles. You know what I mean?
But since he started and won, he knocks out Ohotek in 45 seconds. He knocks out Aaron Canarte in 41 seconds. He knocks out Halil Amir in the second round. He knocks out Tang Kai at the end of a masterclass, but he doesn't get the belt because he missed weight. And now they bring him back against Dayuev. And then he gets another knockout. This guy is fucking good, dude. He just needs to get with Condition Nutrition and Peter Miller and figure out the weight.
What would be my Muay Thai nickname? Would it be Ramtek? Ramilek?
Ramtek,
like what?
Dude?
What would it be? You know, what I mean?
Ramrod, dude. Ramrod from Super Troopers. Ramrod, dude.
I don't know, man. You know what? We should have it ready by next episode. We'll figure this out. But hey, shout out to everybody. This is where I usually go through one by one and just start listing everybody that was in the chat to thank them. Will, I can't do that this time. You know why? There's just so many people that were on the chat, dude. Everybody blowing up the chat. We appreciate it. It makes this episode and every episode, whenever y'all join us live and start chatting up, so much fun. It's seriously like just talking fights with a bunch of friends.
It's gotten to the point where when we started this, I was like, man, I can't wait till Sunday. I can talk to Ramir about these fights. Now I'm like, I can't wait till Sunday to talk to Ramir about these fights, and Ganskow, and Genevieve, and Blunderbuff, and Austin, and Anonymous, like all these guys.
And Ghost.
Yeah, and Ghost. Like, and forgive me if I didn't
And
mention
Phil.
the name, but
And
yeah, it's
Austin,
like I want to hear from all these
everybody.
guys. Yeah.
Everybody.
So
It's
sick,
just
dude.
so much fun. Seriously, thank you all
Hey,
so much. You make this so much
Look
fun.
at us. Look at us.
Look at us. Look at us. Yeah, but remind everybody, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that other stuff. I know we've gone through it a couple times, but we're just trying to grow this community as much as possible because
Yes.
we see it live. It's so much fun. So please let everybody that you know that loves combat sports, tell them to subscribe as well. Tell them to join. Somebody asked, where's the Isaac Newton merch? I don't know,
Yeah.
but we do have other merch available. Story of the Fight merch available on storyofthefight.com. That's a sick read, says Sir Isaac Newton.
It's so good, dude.
It's so good. Thank you, Blunderbuff, for that one. Will, do you have anything else?
No, you know those like physics drawings where it's like the drawing explanation of like a physics thing? We should do that with the comeback up from Jackie with the punch coming down and like show the force for like the collision.
That's a sick
and
read.
then- that's a sick read. Isaac Newton.
So good. Hey,
But no, I don't have anything else. Follow us
I do
on
want to
social
give one more
media.
shout out. I do want to give
Oh.
one more shout out, and that's to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Richard Bustos, our producer in the backgrounds. Yes, on the ones and twos. Look, dude, all these pictures that are popping up, the Sir Isaac Newton going up on the screen, all these different things, possible by Rich Casual. Shout out to Rich, and shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining us for another week of Story of the Fight.